Welcome to today's 14-minute class designed to release those tight hips. If you spend a lot of time sitting down, I'd recommend practicing this sequence often. For this video, you'll need a sticky mat, and you might want to have a folded blanket handy to put underneath your knees in the lunges and to sit on in the seated postures. I'll put a link in the description below to my 17-minute yoga flow class that's perfect if you've been sitting at a desk all day. So if you're ready, give me a thumbs up, be sure to subscribe and follow along. So we're getting into the hips today, so we're going to start in a wide-kneed child pose. So the knees are separated, the big toes are together, reach the arms long, the forehead comes towards or on the floor. So your hips might be much higher and that's okay, just working the hips towards the heels. And taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. Settling in. Getting grounded. Feeling the body on the ground, feeling those points of contact. One more breath cycle. And then the hands come underneath the shoulders and roll yourself up. So just to warm up the spine and the hips a little bit, come to tabletop. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. As you inhale, look up a little and arch the spine, the tailbone lifts. And exhale, round the spine, let the head and neck go, looking towards the thighs. Inhale, arch the back, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round, press the floor away. One more round, inhale, arch the back. It's almost like you're trying to press your chest between your arms. And exhale, press the floor away, round the spine and look towards the thighs. And then come back to neutral. So we'll take a lunge, so the right foot steps forward between the hands. If you need to help the foot forward, you can take it out to the sides, bring it forwards, that front shin is vertical, and then climb yourself up onto your leg. So if you want more stability, you kind of shuffle that right foot over to the right. And if you want more intensity, you can send that knee back, the back knee back. And then optional here, you can reach up, reaching up through the fingertips, feeling the ribs lift, stretching through the sides of the waist. So take some nice long in breaths and out breaths. One more in breath. And then exhale, release. So come back to tabletop. And then tuck the toes and lift the hips up into downward facing dog. So the knees are bent, pressing the floor away, the heels can lift, the arms are active. One last inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, step the left foot forward. So again, you can kind of clear your body out of the way and help that foot forwards if you need to. The front shin is vertical. And then climb up onto the front of the leg. So again, if you want more stability, then shuffle that left foot over to the left. And if you want more intensity, then send that back knee back a little bit. And then the option again to reach the arms up. Taking a few breaths here. Feeling that stretch in the hips. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling to maybe sink a little bit into the hips. One last inhale. Exhale, release. And we'll come back to downward facing dog. So tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back. So lunges are considered as a sort of mild back bend. So downward facing dog is really good to neutralize the spine in between. One last inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees. Step the right foot forwards again. And this time, straighten the back leg so the knee lifts. So if that's just too much intensity, then go back to putting the knee back down on the floor. Lift the chest and breathe here. So that back heel is pointing backwards, the front foot is pressing down, and that front shin is vertical. Lifting the chest helps to neutralize and lengthen the spine. One last inhale. And then exhale to release, lower that back knee. Coming back to downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, hips lift up and back, and pressing the floor away. So you might find after a couple of downward facing dogs that the heels start to reach a little bit further towards the floor, but it doesn't matter, you can still have them lifted. The knees can still be bent. We're really working on lengthening the spine. One last inhale. Exhale, lower the knees, and then step the left foot forwards between the hands. So straighten the back leg, that back knee lifts. So again, if it's too much, just go back to lowering the knee and lift the chest. So lengthening the spine. That back heel is pointed backwards. The front foot is pressing down. The front shin is vertical. And you're feeling probably quite an intense stretch in the hip. Nice long, slow, deep breathing. One last inhale. Exhale, release, lower that back knee. Back to tabletop and then downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Press the palms of the hands and the fingers into the mat. Press the floor away. Lengthening through the arms and the back. Last in-breath. And then exhale to release. Lower the knees. And then come to sit on your mat. So place the hands on the knees, lift up tall. So as you inhale, think about lifting the chest. And as you exhale, tip forwards a little bit. And then just kind of move from side to side, getting into the hips. Just a few times. And then release and come back up. Switch the cross of the legs. Placing the hands back on the knees, inhale to lift the chest. Exhale to tip forwards from the hips. And again, just getting some movement side to side, going gently, getting into the hips. And then release. Take the left foot out to the side, the left leg, and the other foot towards you. Take the fingertips behind. Lift the chest. If this is intense, you can bend that knee, the leg that's extended, flexing that foot. Inhale to lift, and then exhale to tip forwards from the hips. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, tipping forwards from the hips, and maybe bringing the hands in front of you. So go into a comfortable level here. If you're finding that it's too intense, then just stay in a more upright position and you can keep the fingertips behind. Inhaling to lift the chest, lengthening the spine, and exhaling to fold from the hips. And then inhaling to release, switching sides. So this time the right leg is extended, those toes are pointed up. The other foot is in towards your body. Place the fingertips behind. Inhale to lift the chest, and exhale to tip forwards from the hips. Inhale to lift, exhale to tip forward, so maybe the hands come in front. Inhaling to lengthen the spine, exhaling to tip forwards from the hips. One last inhale and release. So we're going to recline onto the back, hug the knees into the chest, rock a little bit from side to side, place the feet back down, hug your right knee into the chest now, and then just give it a little bit of movement here. So you'll feel some movement in the hip, and there might be a point that's particularly tight, so maybe you'll want to hold it, maybe you'll want to keep moving, so just do what feels right here. And then take the right ankle across the left thigh, flex the foot, and gently press the right knee away from you. If you want more intensity, you can hug that left thigh in towards you, but if that causes you to come up and strain and you can't relax, then come back down and just lower that foot back down again. So the feet are flexed, you're feeling that rotation in the right hip joint, just encouraging mobility in the hips. And then release, place the feet back down, and then take the left knee in, and again just get some movement here, just noticing any differences between the sides. It's quite common to have one side feel different to the other. If there's a point that feels particularly tight, you might want to hold it, or you might prefer to keep moving. And then take the left ankle across the right thigh, gently pressing that left knee away. The foot is flexed, and then if you want more, you can hug that right thigh towards you. So again, if you're straining and lifting, then just take that foot back down again. The feet are flexed. That knee is pressing away from you. Feeling that rotation in the left hip joint. And then release. So just relaxing here, you can keep your knees bent, palms of the hands are facing up. Or if you want to, you can extend the legs, feet are flopping out to the sides. And just take a minute here just to rest, noticing the body, noticing how it feels compared to at the beginning of this class. And just relax for a little bit.